Well, happy Wednesday. How about that snow out there? Woo! I don't know about you, but I love it. Making the roads a bit crazy and treacherous, but it is certainly beautiful. In my opinion, if it's going to be cold, it might as well be beautiful and white instead of brown. So that's my opinion, but I hope that you're all staying safe. Driving out there is pretty crazy. I've been out a couple times today, and the roads are crazy. So if you don't have to go out, don't go out. Um, I want to recap a little bit about what we talked about Sunday. We just started our new series on purpose, and what we talked about Sunday is the reality that we are made on purpose. Each and every one of us was created by God on purpose because God doesn't do anything by accident or as a mistake. So if you're alive, it's on purpose. And so that has implications to the way we live, especially when we believe in God and we believe God is who he says he is. Then that whole on purpose thing takes on a pretty interesting vein there as we think about what does it mean that a good, loving God created me on purpose. For some of us, we aren't the best fans of ourselves. We can be very critical. We can be very negative about ourselves, about our flaws. The enemy has convinced many of us that we are our mistakes, that the things that have occurred in our past, sometimes our recent past, they define who we are and they define who we can be. And it's simply not true. Our value, our use, our purpose has very little to do with us other than the fact that God designed us in order to achieve that purpose, and he has given us that value. All of those things have far more to do with God. And so the enemy can't take it away from us. Your decisions can't take that away from you. Your bad decisions can't change your value or your purpose. They are set by God. And so as we process that thought, as we think about the reality that our value, our purpose, who we are is determined by him, by God himself, we can accept that, yeah, you know what, we're going to mess up, and we probably have messed up. And some of our biggest mess ups maybe were after we came to know Christ, and yet our purpose remains the same. God has designed us for something. He saw the future. He knew exactly the bad decisions we would make. He knew exactly what would happen in our life, and yet he still called us to a purpose. And so my hope is, as you walked away from Sunday, is that you walked in light of that. To me, that's an encouraging thought, to know there's nothing I can do to knock God's purpose out of alignment, that I am who God says I am, and that's it. And I exist for the purpose for which God has created me for, regardless of myself. And so to me, that, again, like I said, that's an encouraging thought, to know that God is bigger than me and his purposes are bigger than me. But it also has a responsibility to it that we would live on purpose. And so through this whole series, that's what we're going to be talking about, living on purpose. It's a stewardship series in order for us to see how stewarding all that God has given us on purpose changes the way we live. Because we were made on purpose, everything we've been given should be stewarded on purpose. And so this coming week, we'll talk about time, how we can steward our time on purpose. But what I really hope you walked away from Sunday was the realization that we are to live on purpose, that we're not to be repurposed, but to live on purpose, and to figure out what that purpose is, because we were created on purpose for a purpose. And once we can accept that we were created on purpose, it creates a need, a desire to know what the purpose for a purpose means. So why was I designed on purpose? It leads us down that journey. And so I hope that you can, through this series and beyond, really dive into what your purpose is, both the general calling we all have to make disciples, but what does it look like for me uniquely, individually? What is that calling? And we'll be discussing that a lot in the following series. We will touch on that a good bit through this series, but we're really going to hone in on that on the next one, because we need to. Once we discuss the whole on purpose thing, discovering for a purpose is the next step in that journey. So I hope you're excited for that. I know I certainly am. Yeah, so that's what I have for you as far as recapping goes. Our schedule. Let's see. I'm not sure about Wednesday activities tonight. It may benefit us to cancel those. We'll see how the rest of the day plays out. We'll probably make that decision in the next hour or two. But normally we would have our evening activities, including the adult Bible studies and youth group was happening tonight. But like I said, we'll be making that decision shortly, hopefully figure out what that's going to look like for us. And yeah, so we'll send that notification out over the app so that you know what's happening there. Tomorrow we still have family volleyball going on at 7, so you can join us for that. And if you didn't get the message, the Alliance Women are hosting a cleaning time on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. If you're able to help with that, anybody can come and join them in that. Really, it's going to be getting the fellowship hall cleaned, some other areas, especially the kitchen, getting that cleaned up and organized and ready to go for events that we have over there. If you've worked in the kitchen, you know it could certainly use some TLC in there, so they're going to host that. It's not just the Alliance Women that are going to be there, so I hope that if you're hearing this, you see this, and you're available, you would love to jump in there and help straighten that up, clean things, and get the kitchen in good working order. And I don't really see anything else on the schedule for this coming week or anything like that. So, yeah, have a great week. Enjoy this awesome, wonderful, beautiful, treacherous snow. And pray that God is moving in each of your lives and speaking to you and directing you in the path that he wants you to go. And I'm so excited for this series, and I hope you are as well. Have a great week. Hope to see you Sunday, 10:30 a.m.